Let me introduce you to MaiOtaku.com, the world's oldest and longest running anime dating website. There are tons of dating websites and dating apps out there: Tinder, Bumble, Match.com, eHarmony, and online dating is a $1 billion a year industry. A dating website for anime fans, to me, seems like a no-brainer. I started MaiOtaku in 2009. Since then, it has grown to over 100,000 users. It's meant to be a lot different than other dating websites. You can chat, like posts, share your life, basically. It's honestly more of a mashup of Reddit and Facebook. I still remember back in 2011, right after I had started advertising the website for the first time, I was at an anime convention where this couple approached me, and they told me that they had met and started dating and got married in the course of meeting on the website, a year ago. And I was so excited and happy to see that I'd made such a big difference in some people's lives. That was like a really rewarding feeling. But of course, with an anime dating website, you might expect some drama, right? And of course there is. Sometimes people will make up some of the silliest things on the internet and act like they're experts. A few years ago, some people found that typing in your username by going to maiotaku.com/p/their username, their anime convention profile would come up. And so people had said that I must be stealing their anime convention registration information to put into my anime dating website. And they told people I had actively downloaded their information, their credit card numbers, and uploaded them to my anime dating website. But not only is that not true, that's not possible, and let me show you why. This is Chronosite. That's what I call it internally, and it is a web application that runs most of everything I've invented. My anime dating website, my website with tips about how to make video games, all the convention websites, quoting systems for my solar company, just all kinds of stuff. Every piece of software functionality I built from about 2008 through 2018 is in here. And what you're looking at is a Ruby on Rails application. This application runs on a single web server, which is now hosted on Amazon AWS. Before that, it was plugged in my apartment. Every database entry, such as a username, payment method, is saved to this application. Now, if you're not a programmer, that might sound like a good plan. Very efficient. Having just one server and one system to manage and maintain and update sounds pretty reasonable. But if you are a programmer, you might think this sounds a little cumbersome and dangerous, especially, if you're a modern web programmer. After all, why would a solar quoting system, an anime convention ticketing system, and an anime dating website be on the same server, run by the same system? They have nothing in common, right? Well, wrong. There is actually a ton of stuff that is going to be the same. For example, logging in and out, encrypting passwords in a secure manner where they're salted, hashed with a secure algorithm, lost password functionality, including like sending an email from the server and clicking an authorization link, public profiles, profile pictures, a commenting system, and preventing spam are all excellent examples of tasks that are very non-trivial, that take, many hours of programming. And if you do something wrong, it could allow people to log into other people's accounts or access their password, and their password could get leaked or exposed. And so having all these functions in one server makes it easier for a one-man show coding operations like mine to keep things secure. And so when people claimed a few years ago that I was copying people's information for the anime dating website, that is fundamentally not true. As I tried to explain to people at the time, it is this system with one server, and all the websites are on it, and you can log in with the same account on any website I built because it's all on the same server. It's the same computer that is actually responding to those requests. So your account on the anime convention website can log into the dating website, the video game website, any website that's run on this server. It's just basically one computer sitting in an Amazon computer warehouse. And people argued with me at the time that I was following insecure practices stealing people's data, or that it was same sign-on and not something more like single sign-on, and all other kinds of words that people were posting that they really knew nothing about. Where my website was actually following the most secure best practices. For example, across all the websites, there was only one users table, and I would regularly update the security for that table. For example, I say we, but it was all me. When I created the first version, it had an old hashing function that eventually they found bugs and flaws in that happens to hashing functions all the time, and so we updated, and then I've updated again, and now we're hashing all users' passwords with the bcrypt algorithm, and if that becomes out of date, then any new passwords will be encrypted using whatever the latest secure algorithm is at the time, and that's something that you have to keep updated with. And if some bug or flaw is discovered, you need to be able to update those things all at once. And so having to do that across 30 different computers, especially with the old tooling of the time, would be terrible. So that's much easier to do. It's much easier to keep a system safe and updated because it's all one database on one server. Now, some people were understandably upset because if you went to the dating website and typed in the URL field your username in a very specific way, you would see a profile come up with your username on it. And I hadn't realized this problem because that's not how you're meant to interact with the site. That's not how anyone is really going to find any users there. But it could make it look like you signed up for the anime dating website. For everyday users of the anime dating website, they would never see your profile because it was blocked from matching, being listed on the website, because not until you logged into the anime dating website itself would a database object called a match profile be generated for that username. And so people would go to the dating website, log in, and have that match profile created, and then complain that they had an account on the dating website. What I failed to realize at the time was how very opaque and unclear this process was to the user. But the second someone mentioned that to me, I immediately changed the code the same day so that it would show those usernames who haven't gone to the anime dating website as unavailable. And the whole reason these sites are one shared code base and the same database is for convenience features. You can get a ticket for Anime Midwest and then a ticket for Anime Minneapolis with the same account. And I wanted these anime convention websites to have like social features. You could leave a comment on convention panels discussing the panel, what you liked, what you didn't like, stuff like that, and chat with other users and connect with each other on the website even after the convention's over. And so that's the story of the biggest drama to hit my anime dating website in a long time. Since then, I've been adding a lot more layers of separation between the websites, specifically due to the sensitive nature of a dating website. Now, a lot of these early design decisions were made out of convenience. If you don't know my story, when I started my business, I had no money, no investors. Basically, I had to start everything with credit cards. So costs and keeping expenses down was really important. And I couldn't afford the price of 40 different servers for 40 different websites. So I built something that could run unlimited websites on one server on one computer. Now that we're more like a real company and a real business, I actually have several different websites on several different servers using different code bases, some in Rust, some in Ruby on Rails, some in PHP, basically everything now. Anytime I start a new project, it's typically going to be on some new server and not part of this current program that I have. Now, a lot of that is made possible thanks to updates in software engineering. When I started writing code back in middle school, so this was 20 years ago, I'm 36, 37, something like that. I don't remember. But 20 years ago, when I started writing code for the first time, there weren't good package managers. It wasn't easy to find the most up-to-date code. Libraries were scattered all over the place. Even Git was still in its infancy, which is how you keep change tracking of your files and the work you do, and you can upload and commit it and roll back if something breaks. Now that those things have stabilized, Ruby on Rails was evolving really fast at the time, but now that those things have stabilized and grown, it's way easier to have more servers, separate code bases for separate services. Now, adding a secure password, for example, is as simple as this function called has_secure_password in Ruby on Rails. Previously, implementing a secure password took careful thought. So, if you're looking to meet and chat with other nerdy people, check out MaiOtaku.com. It's MaiOtaku.com. Cheers.